Remember the great petition for do not introduce digital ID cards? If you notice down the bottom of this where I'm sharing it, you'll notice where it's got Parliament will debate this petition, and it's finally given a date for petition for it on the 8th of December 2025. Now, people recall when that started, the petition was in wild overdrive and was doing 50, 60,000 signatures a day. It's now slowed down to very little at all. While I've been talking, you'll notice nothing's changed. It's debatable how much further it'll go, but regardless of what you think of digital ID cards, I think it's important that the government is actually held to account and has an honest discussion about it, because they seem to have been trying to put this debate on the long finger and push it back and back and back. And I have mixed feelings about whether they would work or not work, or whether they would or wouldn't be an intrusion of privacy. I certainly didn't like the suggestion of the ones mooted for 15-year-olds at schools and stuff like that. That seemed overly intrusive. But in any case, I'm going to share something else as well. I'm just going to turn on the sound here. It's not going to make much sense if I do. And a friend of mine's made a musical response to it. And it's important, I think, in a free society that people can make such responses instead of getting Keir Starmer's dance around about it, which seemed to be just yet again showing Keir's amazing lack of empathy and inability to relate to the average person on the street. As I say, I think it's important that people actually are able to debate this. And I got the feeling that Keir and co were pushing it back and back. And I think that song actually sums up people's frustrations with the matter. Keir would have actually been able to introduce the whole issue a lot more honestly as well if it wasn't for the fact that his own probity is basically a ghost at this point. This is a man who has been shown to take dubious gifts from elsewhere. There's been all sorts of mucking about by loads of MPs. It's not that we don't expect that from our politicians. I think everyone who lives in this country or has lived here for a long time knows that politicians are corrupt and expects a certain amount of it. But when you try to portray yourself as a shining knight and then are shown to have feet of clay like everybody else, you begin to look a bit stupid. And Keir has certainly managed to make himself look remarkably stupid in a year or so in power. Well, a bit more now, and has managed to unite people from the left and the right in regarding him as unlikable. There are people who would characterize themselves as fairly far to the left, like myself, and people who would characterize themselves as fairly far to the right, who both dislike him. He's managed a remarkably good job of managing to make everyone dislike him. I'm sure the debate will be nothing short of a fiasco and will be a short debate with Keir going, it will be introduced anyway, a few questions, and then that will be the end of it. I would suggest, of course, that that's the wrong way to handle it, but of course that short song shows the depth of feeling that is produced in the average individual in Britain.